YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of the Movie Zone with me, your host Jonathan, aka the Doctor Movies. And to continue off my Batman adventure, I'm here to talk about the last Batman movie before the Nolan trilogy. Now, before I talk about it, let me warn you: spoiler alert. And I'm pretty gonna rant about this movie, so if you don't like that, too bad. Sorry, because there's a lot I want to talk about. So now we're on Batman and Robin. And as a kid, I was looking forward to it. Batman and Robin teaming up to take on new villains, Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze. And it looked cool on paper, of course. And as a kid, you watch it, you're like, this is awesome. You got Batman. Now we got a new actor playing Batman. It's George Clooney. And then you have Chris O'Donnell coming back. And then you have new villains. Mr. Freeze played by none other than the Terminator himself, the Governator. And of course you have Kill Bill herself, Uma Thurman, playing Poison Ivy. And it's directed by Schumacher, of course. He directed Batman Forever. And he's back in this one, so you think it's gonna be good, right? And God, no, my goodness, no. I mean, honestly, as a kid, I watched it. I was like, yes, this movie is awesome. It's Batman. He's got a cool, sick-ass Batmobile. He's got Robin. It's fun. We're going to get Batgirl. And this movie, to me, as an adult, I watch it now, this movie makes me cry. Honestly, I'm like, this couldn't have killed my childhood if I was a lot smarter than I am now. But, man, this movie is bad. I'm talking about, you watch this movie now, the dialogue in this movie is like, gives me headaches. Basically, this movie starts off with just having Batman and Robin suiting up, the bat suits on, the bat masks, the capes, the bat nipples, which to this day, I still don't understand how that even was legal for a Batman film, even for, a superhero movie. You don't see Iron Man with nipples on his suit, or Captain America. No, they give it to Batman of all people. I'm like, really? Why? Why are you going to do this to the guy? It's just horrible, like, really horrible. And then it gets even worse. We're like the most weirdest, corny lines you would ever hear in a Batman movie. It starts off with Batman getting ready to go to the Batmobile, and then Robin, who has something in his big mouth, who's too old to be Robin at this point. He should be Nightwing by now. He goes, I want a car. Chicks love the car, right? Then you see Batman just look at him and like, this is why Superman works alone. And then you hear that, you're like, okay, that has got to be the most stupidest lines I've ever heard in my life. First of all, why do you even mention Superman to think that Superman exists in this universe? Because I think back then Warner Brothers wanted to make the DC universe before right now. I think a while back, I think they were going to do, reasons that Tim Burton left the Batman franchise because he was supposed to make a Nicolas Cage Superman. And just by hearing that, it sounds more better than this movie. Because it just goes from bad to even worse. Because honestly, you see Mr. Freeze, and then before Batman even knows who he is, the Commissioner Gordon comes on to this little radio that Batman has, like a little TV that he has in the Batmobile. And he says that Mr. Freeze, this guy's calling himself, he's freezing people, and he's calling himself Mr. Freeze. I've seen this movie about 3,000 times. There were no cops in the museum because basically Mr. Freeze is in a museum and there are security guards. How in the heck does the cops even know that his name is Mr. Freeze? I don't think any guards was trying to call the cops because when Batman gets there, there's no cops there. There's nobody there trying to stop this guy. This guy's just walking up to a big diamond trying to get, a diamond like this size to do something with it. And there's only guards there getting their asses whooped until Batman comes down from the glass. Like in a typical Batman movie, he breaks the glass, he comes in, makes a big entrance. What did it have Batman do? Slide like Fred Flintstone's opening from the Flintstones on a dinosaur, on a boneless dinosaur. It's just ridiculous. I'm sorry. I didn't mind Mr. Freeze. But honestly, watching it now, I still think he was bad to do it. I mean, they couldn't have got somebody else to do it. He didn't even feel like Mr. Freeze. He he felt too villainy, if you know what I mean. Because honestly, like Mr. Freeze's back origin is basically he's a scientist. His wife had cancer. He wanted to heal her. So he freezes her, and he needed to get money for research and all that stuff. So he goes on a criminal spree. You know, he wasn't like that guy who, like the Joker or somebody like, I'm gonna take over the world. I'm gonna blow up the Gotham or something like. I wanted to destroy the world to get what I want. No, he just wanted money so he can do what he needs to do. But in this movie, they really made him like that. It was just weird. And then it gets even worse where when Mr. Freeze is shooting his big gun, you can tell clearly, if you look at it really closely, you can clearly tell that the budget for this movie was either A, too cheap, or B, they decided, who cares? They're going to give us all this money. Let's just put all the fake stuff we can put on this movie. You got wobbly icicles, the guards being frozen look faked. I'm sorry, I can't. This movie is just horrible. And then we get to a point where you're going to get Poison Ivy, played by Uma Thurman. Now, personally, I didn't mind her. She was, like, to me, the best part of this movie. She worked for a couple of reasons, because I kind of felt like in that tone of a movie, she fits. She wanted to protect the plan. She would just do anything to destroy humanity to protect the plan. She kind of went overboard with it, but yeah, she was fine, in my personal opinion. That's like the only good thing about this movie is actually her. And also another villain in this movie, I don't even want to mention it, is Bane. Bane is in this movie. You know, the man who broke Batman. Basically picked up Batman and broke his back. Yeah, that Bane. And he wasn't even Bane. He was just some guy in a mask who just growled and listened to Poison Ivy. That's pretty much all he did. He was basically useless. Batman beat him up so fast. I was like, wow. As a kid, I'm like, yay, Batman wins. I mean, as a kid, I never knew that this is the guy who beat Batman to a pulp, to a point where he might not even be Batman anymore. And what did they do? They butchered him too. They decided to make him some bootleg wrestler with a mask and then basically do nothing. Get his butt whooped. He had so much steroids on him and he still got his butt whooped. And when I get to the Dark Knight trilogy, and I talked about Dark Knight Rises, I got some good things about that Bane, because that Bane worked so well. But this, I was like, oh my god, stop the humanity. And then it gets even worse from here, because you think it's going to be better now, because, you know, back then, George Clooney, he's a great actor. I love him as an actor in any movie he does. But Batman, he's, to this day, he's still apologizing. I forgive him now because he's doing some good movies now, but man, just like, wow. He was bad. He was okay as Bruce Wayne, but, you know, even, you know, all these Batmans besides Michael Keaton's Batman, Val Kilmer and him, the only thing they didn't do is disguise their voices to even pretend that they're Batman. Because honestly, if you're going to talk normally behind a mask, you can tell that's them. He talked like George Clooney would as Bruce Wayne and as Batman. People couldn't figure it out he was Batman right away, so, you know, whatever. And like again with the Robin thing, Robin was just too old to be Robin. He should have been Nightwing at this point. You know what? He should have been like, you know what, ditching this Robin crap and maybe Nightwing, it would have been a lot better. And then it gets to another point where you finally see Batgirl. Batgirl comes, and what they do to her. And she's played by Alicia Silverstone, I believe. Yeah. And she's a good actress. You know, I don't mind her in some roles. She hasn't been doing much lately, but whatever. And what did they do? They butcher her too. Basically, they make her Alfred's niece. Hit the brakes. That doesn't even exist in any universe. She's the daughter of Commissioner Gordon, you know, the badass cop who helps Batman, okay? Point that. You gotta listen to that. She is the daughter of Commissioner Gordon, not Alfred's niece from England, who decides he wants to, like, ride motorcycles and be a daredevil. It's... wow, man, like, honestly. And also, there's a scene in here where you see Alfred, you know, she's trying to figure out something, like, why her uncle is sick. She gets a password for some reason, and then she enters, like, Batman.com, where she can get into the Batcave, and there's a suit waiting for her. First of all, how is that even possible? She comes in. Alfred didn't even know she was gonna pop up out of nowhere, and then out of nowhere he's gonna like, oh, because in the movie he was starting to feel sick, starting to feel weak. So wait, I'm like wondering, how does he even make the bat suit for her while he's supposed to be sick and be in bed? You know, the dude couldn't collapse in the Batcave while sewing this thing together, and he couldn't have died. Nope, they don't even explain how she even gets the bat suit. It's already there for her. So that he knew she was coming, it just boggles my mind. Like, what were they thinking about this movie? And she was a horrible Batgirl, honestly. Her lines is like really bad as well. Thinking, oh yeah, I know who you two are. Yeah, I'm Batgirl. Let's go fight crime. And Batman and Robin are like, whatever. Let's just do what we gotta do. And another thing that kind of bothers me about this movie is where Mr. Freeze, listen to his plan. And you gotta think about this. Dude's plan, basically take all these diamonds, cash them in. I mean, take these diamonds and use them to make some big ice gun. Dude's got the diamonds the size of rocks, okay? Huge. You figured he couldn't cash those in to find research for his wife's cure that he needs. Nope. He wants to make a big gun so he can make money by ransom, holding the city of Gotham ransom so he can make money. Does that make any sense to anybody? Anybody raising their hands out there? Does that make any sense? How are you going to take diamonds to make a weapon to destroy a city just to hold it hostage so you can get money? You could have just took it at a local bank and cashed those in and got your money right there. But honestly, I don't even know anymore. The only thing good about this is at least Poison Ivy. At least she tried. You know what? I say that because honestly, Uma Thurman is an Academy Award winner, and of course she's Kill Bill. She's a great actress. I think she was just bored. She just wanted to take this role. She was fine, you know. She didn't bother me as much as the others did in this movie. So I don't even know. If I had to grade this movie, I think I'll give it a 1. I only give it a 1 because honestly, it's because of Uma Thurman. She worked for me, and personally, that's pretty much all I liked about the movie. But yeah, honestly, and even Batman had a girlfriend in this movie. Even she didn't, like, who cares? If she wasn't like really anything, she was just there as an accessory. As when he was Bruce Wayne, so honestly, and also another thing, Bat credit card. He carries a Bat credit card, people. Yeah. Oh well, at least I got the Nolan Batman's coming up, right? At least this movie basically killed Batman. For a while, Batman was dead until the Nolan movies come out, then he gets back to life, so. Yeah, pretty much. I think this movie did make money, though, but because it's a Batman film, it makes money. But yeah, this movie is just bad. So yeah, like I said, I'll give it a 1. So leave me a comment below, let me know what you think. Have you ever seen this movie? Do you want to see it? Did I just turn you off on watching this movie if you've never seen it? Just leave it below, let me know. And stay tuned for my next one because then we can start talking happy stuff. So yeah. So, thank you very much and have a good day.